YouTube and Facebook and Periscope. How's everybody doing? I'm gonna do midweek worship right where I'm at. So hello everybody. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day on today. So hello, hello, hello. Do me a favor. If you're watching this, share this out to somebody. It's gonna be wonderful. Again, I'm Pastor D, Senior Pastor of Unity Church of Dallas. I'm also the Senior Pastor of Unity Worship Center. Hello everybody. Hello, hello. If you're watching a replay or anything, we're going to give a time for the room to populate and then allow other people of God to come in. So if you want to scroll ahead, by all means do so. Blessings to each and every one of you. Hope you guys have a wonderful day on today. Let's talk about a lot of you are inside the home. You are quarantining or you are just being obedient to the government authorities. So I want to jump on and let's talk about it again. Hope you guys are having a blessed day on today. So tell me where you're from in about 2 or 3 minutes. We'll let everybody come in. If you are following me on any social media platform, I am on Periscope, I am on Facebook, and I'm on YouTube Live. All three at the same time. Let's do it simulcast today because I want to see who's coming on, and I want to make sure you guys understand. So do me a favor. Share this out to your walls. It's going to be a blessing. Share this out to your followers. And let's go ahead and see what God has to say. As for now, the announcement that I would normally do for our church have been amended because, again, we don't know what the governmental authority is going to do with our events that are upcoming and forthcoming. So I don't want to announce anything prematurely. But again, all these events were in Dallas, Texas. If you are in the DFW Metroplex in the area, come see me when service resumes. We're going to streamline it for those that want to come. So stay tuned to any announcements that are forthcoming. We're going to do that this week. I have a conference call with our leaders on tomorrow. I want you to stay prayed up. I want you to stay safe. God knows what he's doing, and he's going to get the glory out of this. Would y'all do me a favor? Every one of you, would you take a moment and hit that share button? And after you shared it, tell me you shared it. And then we're ready to get started on today. Hello, everybody. Tell me where you're from. I got about 2 minutes to go forward. So it's good to see so many of you on tonight. And I know you guys are inside your homes. But God is still in control. Hello from Augusta. Hello from everybody. Hello from New York. Hello from Jennings. Good to see each and every one of you. Hello from Arlington, Texas. When this is over with, come see me, Arlington. Come see me, Dallas. I love y'all. Hello from Milwaukee. I was supposed to be in Milwaukee myself. Hello, everybody. Make sure you guys have a good signal and make sure that you guys can hear everything that I'm saying. Also, again, share this out to your wall. I'm going to give us a couple minutes and we're going to get started. I pray that you guys are doing wonderful and at your homes. And I know some of you are going stir crazy with your children, but God knows what he's doing. And I believe some of the things he's doing is getting us back close to family in this particular juncture of our lives. So hello, everybody. I am Pastor D again. Again, our ladies' night out is scheduled to be on May the 1st. We will let you know when that is done. Thank you, 5 people on Facebook that have shared. Now I need the other 35 of you to share. Y'all see how Facebook do me? YouTube, Facebook, while y'all playing with me. Hello from Las Vegas. Let's get started. Y'all see how Facebook do me? Thank you, 6 people on Facebook. I need the rest of y'all to hit the share. It's going to be good. I'm just telling you, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Look, I got notes. This is a midweek worship. Some of you cannot go into the house of God because of the restrictions of the governmental authorities. So let's bring it to you. You can stay in the comfort of your home, and you can get the word of the Lord just like everybody else. It's a blessing, and I thank God for it on today. Some of you hadn't been in church in a long time, so here's your first church service this year. Hello, y'all. All right, let's get started. I'm Pastor D again. If you are ready, type the word ready. R-E-A-D-Y. R-E-A-D-Y. Thank you guys for being on. I love each and every one of you. Again, when we're back up and running, which will be soon, I want you to come see me at 6701 Southampton Road in Dallas, Texas. We're moving our service to 11:30. Wow. So I want you guys to come see me. After you share it, type share it and ready. Let's get started. Now, God, thank you for our midweek worship and our midweek believers that are here on tonight, God. God, we ask that you incline their ears so they can hear what you have to say. God, give them the power to tread upon serpents in this evil time, God, that is going on. Let them understand that all things are working together for their good. God, give them the foresight, God, to know how to operate with clarity, make keen decisions going forward. God, give them a word on tonight that's going to impact, enthuse, and encourage them. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Somebody type amen. Now, let me start this way. We understand the pandemic of epic proportions that is going on across the length and breadth of this country. And some of you, if you are prophetic in nature, if you are close to God like you should be, most of you are, then this is not something that catches you by surprise. Because it does not, hello from Uganda, it does not catch you by surprise. We're not caught off guard, but we need to understand that if everything, God is in control. Somebody be my scope scribe and type, it's going to get good, I promise you. God is in control. That's the first thing I need you to understand out the gate, that God is in control. You may not understand it, but God is in control. You may not see it, but God is in control. You may not know what's going on, but God is in control. And when we understand God is in control, we don't walk in a spirit of fear. What we do, yes, we are cognizant of what the government authorities may say, but we don't operate in fear because God is in control. Can I prove it to you? Let me go ahead and bless you because I shared this with our church on Sunday. Y'all share this out. It's going to be wonderful. Listen to this. And I could not walk away from this scripture because when I started Mark 16, 17 through 18, it tells me that these signs will follow those who believe. Hear this. It's a pluralistic term, which means it's not relegated to just one person. He said, it will follow those who believe in my name. They will cast out demons. Then it says they will speak with new tongues. Watch me. It will by no means, hear me here, hurt them. They will lay hands on the sick and they will recover. Now, what God is saying to you, believers, that because of the power that innately God has given you, that yes, we are cautious, we are careful, but we are not fearful. And what we are saying to you, yes, we are cautious, but don't be fearful because we have signs that should follow us that believe. That even in the word says that if it comes to hurt you, if you are affected by coronavirus, let me go ahead and call it what it is, y'all, then the word is telling you that you will have the power to lay hands on the sick and you will recover. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. I don't know why some are dying. I cannot speak for them. But I am speaking for the witness and I am speaking for the believers on here that God is saying to you that you should have some signs that follow you. And when you have some signs that follow you, you don't get enamored and panicked by what's going on in society. You should have some power that follows you. And the problem, I believe, with a lot of churches, ladies and gentlemen, is that we, ladies and gents, are showing up. And we only have power when we show up at church. Oh, this is gonna get, yeah. I don't know if y'all gonna like me tonight, but it's gonna be good. I love y'all anyway. And the issue is this. You got churches that are tripping over the fact that they have to go through the social media airways when we need to understand that signs don't just show up at church. Come on, believers. What I am saying to you, believers, when we understand who God is in our life, when he told us to speak every time that God did something and every time God did some healings and miracles and signs and wonders, he was not in church. Here go your first point of the night. I know I ain't trying to get like this tonight. I'm really trying to teach you this. But number one, write this down. Beware of anyone who only has power in church. Okay, it's amazing to me that you only have people, ladies and gents, that only have power when they show up in the four walls of the sacred synagogue. It's amazing to me that you only have people that only have power when they get the microphone. It's amazing to me that you have people that only have power when they show up. It's amazing to me that these people have no power at their home, but then all of a sudden and innately they have power when they show up at church. You need people in this season of your life that don't have power when they tote a Bible. They don't have power when they put on a clergy collar. They don't have power. I'm coming up your street. When they put on alligator shoes and they walk with a three-piece suit on. You don't need people that only have power when they sing. You need power, ladies and gentlemen, people that have power, that if they cannot touch you, their words can meet you. Oh, God. And these signs should have to follow us because it said signs in a plural way. You have people that only have power. It's amazing that pastors are frustrated now because their church has to shut down. They're more upset because their church cannot populate and congregate, but they should be more upset at the fact, ladies and gentlemen, that they're not teaching power, because you got people, they only want to have church because of offerings. Nobody don't like me tonight. I'm a pastor. I get it. But we should not be worried about money when we serve an all-knowing, all-present, all-powerful God. We need to understand that we need to have power, that when people don't show up at our churches, we can reach them through the Spirit, where God can send it through the Word of God, and angels can take anything we say, and it can happen. It says, ladies and gentlemen, these signs in my name, they'll cast it out. And some of us right now, you are more frustrated with your church shutting down. You should be more frustrated at the fact that when your church was open, you had no power. Okay, move on, Pastor. They ain't trying to come at you like that. You should be more frustrated now, ladies and gentlemen, that this happened. And nobody in your church will show up at your church if you open back your church, because your church never showed signs and wonders to start with. You should be more, you should be more upset at the fact, ladies and gentlemen, that now these things are happening, but you had no prophetic insight, or you had no giftings in your church to forecast these things to come. And when we understand who God is, we are not caught off guard when these things happen in our life. Come on, ladies and gents. Are y'all hearing me? Okay. And so what's happening is, he says, watch me, that every believer in this particular text has the power to cast out devils. When you know what's going on around this world, believers, then you need to know and understand that the things that are happening are spiritual. Okay, somebody type that word, spiritual. These are spiritual. The word says believers have the power and the authority to cast out devil. But what we need to understand now, that in this season of what's going on, we need Jesus more than ever before in this season, because we need spiritual growth. Watch me. You cannot get around ministry of around the fact that you can have ministry with no power. Oh, y'all hear me today? Let me slow down. Let me get all this in, because I don't want to get excited. You can't get around the fact. And what we are doing now, we are operating under the false pretense of, we are acting as if God is in some of the places that we fellowship in, but we're not really getting the power of God. Ladies and gentlemen, what God is really trying to get us back to the place where we pray like we used to pray. Come on, believers. God is trying to get us back to the place where we fast like we used to fast, and intercede like we used to intercede. And too often we are not doing these things, and then when God allows something to happen, now we want to get to the posture of prayer, when we should have understood all along that the world is defenseless against your power. Oh my Lord, it's defenseless against your prayer. So when we are a unified front, then what we are saying, that you can send coronavirus and it can happen, but as fast as it came, it will leave as fast as it came. Come on, believers, you got to start speaking these things that are not as though they were. You got to start calling these things out. You got to start getting these things under subjection according to the power of God. And as fast as it came, it will leave as fast. See, y'all don't even know what I just said. Come on, y'all. Let me tell y'all something, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I'm telling you now that what's going on around this country and the length and breadth of this country, if the believers will get together and pray and gets into, okay, let me put it this way. God gets no pleasure when the enemy tries to attack us and destroy his children. Hear me clearly, okay? Because what happened is this. Anytime the enemy comes to attack the word and the children of God, God gets no pleasure. Because even when the enemy would come to attack God and come and approach God, he always approached God in his deity, which means every time the enemy approached God, even when demoniacs and people were possessed under the influence of the devil, anytime they saw Jesus, the first thing that they did was bow down and worship. Come on, let me help y'all tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Can I suggest to you that what's going on now, ladies and gentlemen, that it may appear like it's manifested and it may appear like it's going to go and it's going to be rampant? Let me tell you something. The devil has no power over the believers and definitely over Jesus. And what has to happen, that the enemy has to understand who the deity of Jesus really is, and what has to happen, the enemy has to bow down in subjection to the believers and the power of God. I ain't got nobody on here, but I'm helping somebody tonight. And what's going on is this. What God is trying to get us to see, and I wish I would share this out. I got about 20 more minutes. I'm going to let y'all go. Watch me. What God is trying to get you to see is this. The traditional way of how you lived as a cookie cutter Christian is coming to an end. Oh, God. I ain't really trying to go at y'all, but I got to show y'all what God is. And prophetically, God told me to tell y'all this. He says the traditional way of you living as you being spiritually anemic is coming to an end. What God is trying to do for this world is bring this world back to Pentecost. And what I mean by that, God is trying to put this world back into the place, of course, where we have power that we talk about, but we're not going to be just now status quo Christians. He is looking for an apostolic generation, and with this apostolic generation, he is trying to raise up a different spirit within this generation, a spirit of believers that say we refuse to accept what the devil is doing. Ooh, yeah. And when I title what I title tonight, I want to put this in your spirit tonight and tell you that you should never sit back and allow the devil to take control of what's going on around you. You set the tone and the temperature of what's happening in your house. You set the tone and the temperature that if they shut the schools down, if they shut your job down, you're not panicking of what's going on, because you don't serve mammon anyway. You serve a God that's benevolent, that will still take care of you in a recession. He will still take care of you in a storm. And I'm going to speak over your life and tell you this real quick. No matter what's going on around you right now, God will sustain you through this storm. Okay, ain't nobody hear me. Okay, I got about 300 of y'all on now. Come on. No matter what's going on around you, God will sustain you in this storm. Can I prove it to you? Psalms 22 tells me that now the man was complaining. And when he was complaining, David says, God, I don't feel like you're listening. God, I don't feel like you're paying attention. Then he goes back and said, God, but you are holy. Then he goes back and he mixes comforts with complaints. Then he complains and then he goes back to God and said, God, but you did it before. Then he goes back and says, well, God, I don't feel like you're listening. I don't feel like you're doing it. I don't feel like you're paying attention. I don't feel like you're working this thing out. But then he says, but you are holy, which he's saying to God that, God, I don't know what's happening around me. I don't know how this is going to work out, but you are still holy, which means God never changes his character based on what you're going through. Wow. Because if he changed his character based on coronavirus, then that would make him a lie. Oh, Lord. Okay. Y'all ain't ready for this type of teaching. No. He says in Numbers 23 and 19, he says, I am not man that I should lie. So if I now delegate myself to coronavirus and let coronavirus take over everything, then I am saying that I'm a God that can heal, deliver, and set free. So I will never diminish my glory based on what's going on around you. Come on. And some of you right now, you are frustrated and worried about a paycheck. You are frustrated and worried about a job. You are frustrated and worried about what's going to happen tomorrow. And God says, don't you worry about tomorrow, because I already have it under control. And because I have it under control, I am telling you that I am holy, which means I am holy in my deeds, my thoughts, my character, my motives. I know why this is happening. I know why this is going on. I know why you're going through this. I know why this perplexes you. But because I am holy, I change not, which means I'm the same yesterday. Okay, today and forevermore. And because I changed not, why would I not bring you out of something that I already knew you would get in? Okay, because I am God, and in my omniscience and hypostatically, I am flesh, and I came as flesh and spirit at the same time. But because of who I am, I understand the omniscience and the sovereignty of who I am. So why would I not bring you out of something that I already knew you would go through? Some of you right now, what I'm saying, Pastor D, I'm saying this to you. God is trying to challenge you tonight to praise him while you're in it, like you're already out of it. Come on, believers. Y'all ain't ready. Okay. He's saying, I'm trying to give you the strategy of the kingdom to praise me no matter what it looks like. And I pinned this tonight for you believers to tell you it's not what it looks like. And I need 100 of you across all these 3 channels to type it. It's not what it looks like. What's going to happen? God says what's getting ready to take place. This generation is getting ready to have spiritual balance. Y'all type that, spiritual balance. And what I mean by spiritual balance, God is going to allow you to spiritually go back and dig up the wells from your forefathers, and you will draw from their inheritance and draw from their anointing. This generation now, God is turning, and it will change. Why? Because we will not follow the traditions of men that were designed to keep us out of the promise of God. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be a generation that pray. We will be a generation that fast. We will have balance in this new generation because we understand and we know who Christ is in us and through us. And some of you right now, my assignment is simple for you tonight. I am telling you to lift your head up and pick your head up, because it's not what it looks like. I am saying to you that you have the power to be the devil's worst nightmare. And once you grasp the revelation that God is giving you on tonight, you will have the power to terrorize darkness. Okay. What are you saying, Pastor? You will have the power, hear me, to stop running from situations that were designed to take you out of the will of God. I got a couple points to give y'all. Hold on. What do you mean? What do you mean, Pastor? The first thing that the government came to say is this: we're going to shut down schools. We understand that. We're going to shut down this. Yeah, we understand that. Now we're going to sanction things, and we're going to have social gatherings that are limited. And then one of the first things that starts to happen is now the enemy comes, ladies and gentlemen, because he wants you to not assemble. Okay. All right. Because he understands there is power in agreement. And when we don't have agreement, he takes away power. Watch me. The problem that has started to happen now, you have churches that are open and then others are closing. And what the enemy has done, he has skillfully walked in, and he's walked in because we as believers have not fortified our gaps. So when we go over to Nehemiah, you would understand that Nehemiah was building up a wall and he was trying to get himself back together. And now, when he tries to get himself back together, every devil in hell comes against him. Sanballat, Tobiah, and Geshem comes against him. Now, when you understand the historical aspects and components of what their names mean, one of the names of them mean that the Lord is good. Listen to this. He was now having the right name, all right, but the wrong nature was attached to his name. So now what is happening, there is being a revealing of people that have the right name but the wrong nature. Oh Lord. Okay. You have pastors but they got the wrong nature. You have apostles but they have the wrong nature. You have, come on ladies and gentlemen, prophets but the wrong nature. And what God is doing in this new season of our life, he is saying, guess what? He says, I'm getting ready to reveal what's getting ready to happen, because this will also be a season of exposure. Oh God. Anybody hearing me? See, you got too many people who got the right name, but they got the wrong nature. Oh, here, what are you saying, Pastor D? You got people right around you that were born around you. You got people that were born in the same house as you. You got people that you slept next to, people that you married. They got the right name, but they have the wrong nature. So when you start to speak the word of God and the love of God and the power of God, these people have the wrong nature, and they turn around and speak everything that's antithetical and counterintuitive to the word word of God that God has given you. So now when you say God's going to heal, these people turn around and they speak demise on you. When you say God's going to bless you and you're going to be highly favored and God's going to do what he said he's going to do, you got people with the wrong nature that speaks against you. And then when God comes on the scene and says, I'm going to give you the keys to the kingdom, he says, whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatsoever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. Y'all ain't ready for me tonight, but some of y'all right now, the reason that you are not the devil's worst nightmare is because you have succumbed and assimilated to the words that other people have spoken in your life. And because they spoken it in your life, you think you are bound by what they say because they have the name, but they don't have the nature. So they are speaking some things and they are putting word curses against you. Cycles should be broken, but they are not broken because you have accepted them because of the name that they carry. But what God is doing in this new season, he is now removing you from the restrictions of people that have spoken against you arbitrarily. I gotta go, y'all. Okay. And because of that, what God is saying is this. Not only will you live from coronavirus, two people gonna run, but you will also survive the thing that you were dealing with before this came. Watch me. Because some of you, you're not perplexed and that frustrated about coronavirus. You are saying, God, I got power over that. I'm worried about how I was gonna get out of the last thing I was in. Oh my God. See, y'all don't want to be real tonight. You said, God, I wasn't worried about coronavirus. I was worried about how I was going to get my bills paid. God, I wasn't worried about that. I was raised in a hood, God. I drunk out of the water faucet outside with contaminated water for 30 years of my life. God, I ain't worried about that. I ain't worried. I was raised in the plums, in the slums, and ain't nobody raised. I was raised around drug dealers, and I got shot at. I ain't worried about this. I was more worried about how I was going to survive. And God says, stop worrying, because what's going to happen, he says, now, when I get you out of this, I'm also going to get you out of that. I got to go, y'all, because God told me to tell you tonight. He says, what's going to happen, not only will I deliver you from this, but I'm getting ready to deliver you from that. And what's going to happen, I'm getting ready to now deliver you full circle. And I'm getting ready to deliver you holistically. So not only will I bring you out of coronavirus, I'm going to bring you out of the thing that you were dealing with before you got into this. He says, what I'm going to do, I'm getting ready to compound it. And because I'm going to compound it, I'm going to stack it on top of each other. And you thought that coronavirus was your issue. He said, no. Don't worry about that. I'm already going to deliver you out of that, but full circle, I'm going to bring you out of all the other things that you've been dealing with. Why? Because God says, I'm removing you from burdens that were attached to your bloodline. I'm removing you from cycles that were attached to your bloodline. I'm removing you from generational curses. See, you are frustrated about some things, but God says the reason that you are going through some of these things, it puts you back into the posture of prayer that you used to not be in. It puts you back into a mode where you prayed and you ain't prayed that much lately. It's pushing you back to church because you decided that you was going to skip church, and you know you was raised in church, and God said, I have to do all of this because I can get your attention. Anybody hear me today? And now that I have your attention, now your focus is back on me. I'm not going to leave you, but I just need to get your attention. You worried about your business. God said, don't worry about that. I just had to get your attention. You worried about money, but God said, no, I had to get your attention. You worried about paying bills. God says, no, I had to get your attention. And because now I have your attention, what's going to happen is this. God is giving you the anointing to terrorize darkness. Come on, y'all. And I'm speaking to somebody right now that you need to see what's really happening, because God is getting ready to bring revival back to the church. Oh my God. And what's happening? This is not happenstance. Some churches that are closed now will not reopen. Oh God. And I don't like to say that because I want them to reopen. But God told me no. He said, this is my hand. This is my doing. Because some people will only call, but they call themselves, this is my doing. He says, don't let this distract you from what's really happening. He says, what's going to happen? He says, some of these things are shutting down so God can rise up. Some of you have depended on men for too long. And God says you have celebrated some of these men as idols. You have celebrated some of these churches as idols. And what I am doing, I am shutting some of these things down so I can rise up. And I don't want to get too emphatic about that because God is trying to speak to the church, y'all, and he's trying to speak to the believer. Will he bring revival? Yes, this is God. This is God's doing. This is God's hand. Are y'all hear me, y'all? And some of you need to hear what God is trying to do, because what God says, watch me, he says, in binding the devil, what you start to do, you confront the enemy. And when you confront the enemy, you forbid him to operate. I need somebody to type that word bind. Come on, y'all. I want you to type that word bind. Whatever it is that you are dealing with, God says he's binding. Whatever is frustrating you, God is binding. Whatever is making you upset, God is binding. Whatever is getting on your nerves, God is binding. Whatever is causing frustration and confusion, God is telling you to bind it. Write it while I am talking right now, because God is binding these things. Watch me. You are saying to the devil that when I bind you, I forbid you to operate. Okay, and when I forbid you to operate, what starts to happen when you bind, now you have to loose. When you loose things, you start to cause a breakthrough in the spirit realm. So you said, now I am binding you, which forbids you to operate. Then I cause you to loose, which puts you in a place where you cause breakthrough spiritually. So what starts to happen is this: when you cause breakthrough spiritually, you start to pave the way for warfare prayers. And when you start praying in warfare prayers, you start to tell the devil that you hit me with your best shot, but I am binding you and forbidding you to operate. See, the problem with the church and the problem with some of you professing believers is this: you have been in a place where you know how to sing and you know how to dance and you know how to shout, but you don't have any warfare attached to what you're doing. Are y'all hearing me? And because of that, you are saying to God that, God, I am not just singing to sing. I am singing because I am in a mode of warfare. And when you are in a mode of warfare, you are saying to the devil, cross this line if you want to, because if you cross this line, you're going to have to deal with the power that God has given me. And some of you right now, I am saying this to get ready to shut this down, to tell you now that you are in a season of warfare. So the enemy knows that if he does not get you, he's going to try to get something attached to you. The enemy knows that if he cannot subdue you, he's going to try to get something that's attached to you. The enemy knows that if he cannot put you away, he's going to try to put something around you away, and you need to be in a season of warfare. Somebody type that word, warfare. So what he's trying to do, he's trying to get your focus off of God. And when you take your focus off of God, you only focus on coronavirus. You only focus on your bills. You only focus on your money. But what you are needing to do, you need to now have warfare prayers, and warfare prayers become so effective that you are saying to God that, God, I am not praying amiss, according to James 4:3, but when I pray, I am praying with specificity. What I'm saying to God, that I'm asking, and when I ask, I want to receive what I asked for. When I pray, I want to receive what I prayed for. And what you're saying, God, if it's in your good pleasure and if it's in your will, then let it be unto me. And I'm done. Because some of you right now, you have not been praying the will of God, but you need to start praying over your children while they are home. About all these social media platforms, you need to start praying over your children. You need to start praying and see what this thing has done for many of you. It has put you in a place. Can I help y'all today and tell you the truth? It's put you in a place where now your job has told you that you could not be remote, but now they're letting you work from home. Okay, what is it saying to you? God is saying that he's getting your attention. So when he blesses you again, don't you squander the blessing that God gives you. Some of you right now, no shade at nobody, you had $5, $6, $7, $8,000 of income tax 2.5, 3 weeks ago, and you're broke today. and you'll wait on something from the government to send you another $1,000 so they can now control you even more so, when you should have had yourself together to store up something for a rainy day. Come on now. Don't nobody like to say amen. Don't you squander it this time. See, God says, now I got your attention again. So when I bless you again, don't you squander what I'm getting ready to do this time. Come on. Don't, oh yeah, come on. Some of you right now, you are sitting there talking about, I got to live paycheck to paycheck. And then God allowed this to hit. And you didn't tie nothing to God. Uh-oh. You didn't give none of that increase back to God. And God said, don't you do it this time. I got your attention again. Don't you squander that blessing this time. I got your attention again. Don't you squander this breakthrough this time. I got your attention again. And some of you right now, you don't understand why some of these things are happening, because God's trying to get you back to the place you used to be in. See, when you got $10,000 of income tax, you thought you was the baller, the shot caller. You thought you could do it out of control. And then God says, wait a minute, I'm going to send something to get your attention again. And it's happening right before you. But what God spoke to me, ladies and gentlemen, hear me clear, okay? Hear me clearly. Let me tell y'all something. What's starting to happen is this. God told me that even through your own mistakes, I'm still going to bless the believer. And whoever you are, I want you to type a 1 real quick so I can get off of here. And if you have a financial difficulty in this season, type a 1 quickly. Because God says, even because of the grace and love he has for you, when I do it this time, what God says, next time you won't do it without him. And what God said is happening in this particular season for some of you, he's saying, I'm delivering you from you. Oh my God. I'm delivering you from your bad decisions. I'm delivering you from your bad decisions. Let me say it again. I'm delivering you from your bad decisions. I'm trying to put you in a place where if I bless you with millions, can you point it back to me? If I bless you with 100,000, 200,000, $250,000, will you point these things back to me? You don't understand that some of these things are tests from God. And some of you have failed, but what God is going to do, he's even saying for you that did not squander it, for those that tithe. He says, I'm going to put you in a season of recompense. When this is all over, you will not lack anything. Somebody say lack nothing. Come on, believers. I really need y'all to say it. You will not lack anything. When God brings you out of this, you will not lack anything. When he delivers you out of this, you will not lack anything. When he delivers you from this, you will lack nothing. Hear me clearly, ladies and gentlemen. This will also be a season of restitution for you, recompense for some of you, because many of you, if you are honest with me, you have been in a season of your life where you've been that person for everybody. You've been the ATM for everybody. You've been the resource for everybody. You've been the prayer warrior for everybody. You've been the intercessor for everybody. And what's starting to happen now, God says, I have to sometimes isolate some of these people to themselves. Are y'all hearing me? All right. And because I have to isolate some of these people to themselves, I have to put them back in the posture where they're not so codependent on you. And some of you right now, it's getting ready to be a season where God is going to remove certain people from you because they have been draining you, and they have put you in a place where your good heart has caused you to suffer because you decided not to say no. I don't know who you are. I don't know who that was, but that was for somebody right now. You sitting there and you trying to be everything to everybody in this season. You trying to be everything to everybody. Who are you? And because of that, you trying to be there for everybody, and you trying to make sure everybody's taken care of, and you trying to take care of their bills, and you trying to take care of their issues, and you trying to pray for them, and you trying to cover them, and you going through a season because you said no. But what's going to happen? God's going to separate you from certain people in this season because these people have benefited off of you, and because they benefited so much off of you, he's putting you in a place and in a posture where God is getting ready to remove you. Thank you for whoever. So remove you from some of these people right now. Okay? And I'm telling you, for you believers that are hearing me today, all 300-400 of you on across all these channels, I'm looking at y'all. Thank y'all for coming in. Y'all stay with me 7 minutes. I'm done for real, for real. I just want to speak over your life and tell y'all what's getting ready to happen. God told me, he says, it's getting ready to be a change of the guard. And because of this changing of the guard right now, don't you think it's strange what's happening? He says, I'm getting ready to take the last and make them first. Oh, God, I'm getting ready to shift the people that were behind, and they're getting ready to walk to the front. I'm getting ready because some of these big businesses now are going to suffer dramatically. And he says, I will sustain you through recession. Hear me. And because he's getting ready to sustain you through the recession, some of you right now that's been suffering, you're going to try to figure out how in the world you got out of this, and you're not going to be able to pen to paper, and you're not going to be able to articulate anything. And all you're going to have to type is two words, but God. I need all y'all to type it, but God. I don't know how in the world I got out of this, but God. I don't know how my business sustained, but God. And watch me. Most of you, if you are honest with me, you have been thinking, what do I need to do to get ahead in this season, God? God says, what's going to happen? I'm going to get you ahead, and you're not going to be codependent on no one, no government, no entity. You're going to be codependent on me alone. Because you're codependent on God alone, you're going to get through a season where other people will have to shut down, and you're going to keep your business open. If you're a business owner right now, would you do me a favor and type the name of your business? I want them to go across the screen, because I'm telling you that when God says other doors will shut, he's going to keep yours open. Come on. You worried about food, woman of God, at your house. God's going to sustain your cupboard. Why? He says, because literally what you're going to do, you gave your last to so many. And God says, I saw you. Come on. And he says, because I saw you, woman of God, you gave your last like you gave it to Elijah, and you gave your last cup of oil. And I'm getting ready to take your last cup of oil that you gave to someone else, and you were a blessing to somebody else. And I'm getting ready to put you in the oil business. Y'all didn't catch that. But what I'm saying for some of you now, I'm going to walk you into a season of plentiful fruitfulness and overflow. Are y'all hear me? And I'm seeing all those business names go across the screen. Keep typing them. I'm getting ready to, because of this. When I bring you out of this one, you will sustain. Some of you right now, God is saying, while you are at home, while you have this extra time, finish your book. Write the vision, make it plain, start your business, start that nonprofit. Some of you right now, you have now asked God for a break, and you getting it. Oh my Lord, you said, God, I've been stressed, and now God gave you a vacation that you didn't even put in for it. Y'all got to see God. Y'all really got to see this, y'all. Okay. He says, you keep thinking all evil came out of this, but I'm trying to show you the good that came out of this. I'm trying to show you that my hand is in this. You were sick of going on that job anyway. So while you got time at your house, start learning how to do something else. I gifted you so you don't have to work for him. Come on. You don't have to work for that company. You don't have to go punch that clock. That's what's happening, y'all. He's confirming some of the things that some of you been praying about. And some things have been killing you and stressing you. And you've been going to a job working 40, 60, 80 hours a week. And if you die tomorrow, they're going to send out one mass email to the company telling everybody you are dead. You are no longer with them. And within 48 hours, they're going to have your job posted trying to hire somebody else. And they might promote somebody within the company and not post your job. And you've been standing there and stressing yourself out over something that maybe God was trying to deliver you from. Because what he's trying to tell y'all is there will be glory. Oh my God. I got to go. There will be glory after this. Somebody type that, after this, after this, after this, after this, after this. Somebody say, after this. I don't know what's happening, God, but after this, I don't see it, but after this, I'm frustrated, but after this, I don't know what you're doing, but after this, I trust you. When I can't see you, but after this, God, what are you trying to tell me after this? God, do I leave? Give me clarity after this. Why? Because what God is doing in this new season, y'all, he's trying to show you that the adversary, according to 1 Peter 5:8, is going around seeking whom he may devour. But then he comes back and tell you, but I come to bring you life, and life more abundantly. You don't know what God is trying to do to you, but one of the things that I'm done that God told me to tell the believers is this. He said, now, while you have this time to yourself, a couple of things that I'm done. He says, first of all, he says, separate yourself from the accursed things. I don't know who you are, but God says, I'm putting you in a place now where you now have to separate. So I quarantine some of you so you can get away from things that were killing you. Oh, God. I don't know who that's for. Oh, my God. He says, wait. He says, I put you in a place now where you didn't deal with it. So now I'm telling you that you can't mix and mingle back with that, because I'm trying to separate you from the things that were trying to hold you hostage and hold you bound. And I saw this again, and I don't know why God keeps showing me this, but for some of you, God says, I'm putting you in this season of your life where I'm breaking the arms spiritually of the things that's been holding you back. You don't understand why God has separated you from some things. He separated you from some people on the job. He separated you from some of your family. He's trying to remove you from the accursed things. Here's the crazy thing about life. Let me go ahead and help y'all, because I told my church this and they almost ran through the place. It's amazing that the devil is trying to put you in a place where you run from people that are sneezing, but you have not run from things that's been trying to kill you for 10 years. Oh, my God. Because what's happening is the coronavirus is in a place where people have it, but they show no symptoms. Oh, God. And so you don't know if they got it or not. So if somebody sneezes in a store, you assume inherently that they may have it because they may have sneezed. But you are staying in something that's been killing you for 15 years and 10 years, but you are scared of somebody sneezing in a store. Wake up. God trying to tell you that you need to separate from the things that's been trying to kill you. I got to go, y'all. I'm sorry. Who was that for? I really don't want to get that loud with y'all, but did y'all hear me? So you scared of them in the store, but you ain't running from the thing that's been trying to hold you hostage and hold you bound. You're scared of them in the store, but now God has given you a caveat and given you a way of escape out of that dead ministry anyway that you weren't happy with. No way. You were scared of them in the store, but now you ain't scared to walk off that job and tell them, God bless you, K Sarah Sarah. Y'all been killing me anyway. You were scared of them in the store when they sneeze, but you've been staying in a marriage and he done cheated on you 15 times and he done everything against you, but you want to stay in that. You want to stay around everything because you are staying in a season that's so familiar to you, and because of that familiarity, you think familiarity means God is in it. Does not mean God is in it. It means you are staying there because you have become comfortable in a season that God is trying to deliver you from. I gotta go. Okay, all right. Last point is this. I hope it's helped somebody. This is your midweek word. Y'all gonna see me again, I promise you. Okay, listen to this. Watch me. Watch this. Separate yourself from the accursed things, because in the days, I'm done, of Joshua, the Israelites were known as people of victory. Let me go ahead and shout, y'all, because this is cyber church. If we was in church, it's time for me to preach. I got to preach for 5 minutes, but I can't do it on here because I would have had an organ in C sharp, and we about to ride out of here. But watch me. I need y'all to type this word, victory. Why? He says, now the Israelites were known as the people of victory. Check this out. Here, watch me. Watch me. The Israelites were famous for deliverance. Okay, what are you saying, Pastor D? I'm saying maybe God is trying to show us that it's time for the church to walk in deliverance and not in discretion. Woo! We got too many people. Because we shout, you think that's deliverance. That ain't deliverance. You think because we high-five a neighbor. You can't even do that right now because you got social distances. We think because the music play and you know how to bump to the music, that's victory. That ain't victory. That ain't deliverance. No. You got a lot of people purporting to be something that they are not. They are acting in discretion, but they have not been delivered, ladies and gentlemen. But the challenge that God gave the Israelites was dealing with the spoils of victory. He said to the Israelite, he says, watch me. He says in Joshua, he says, don't take nothing from the enemy, okay? Don't do none of that in Joshua's case. Don't do none of that. He's saying, I'm trying to see how you going to deal with the spoils of your victory. I got to get out of here, y'all. What are you saying, Pastor? All I'm saying is this. Maybe before you get it, God trying to see how you going to deal with it when you get the spoils, how you gonna deal with it when you get the blessing, and you gonna get it, how you gonna deal with it when you get the miracle. Let me put it this way. Why are you saying all this, Pastor D? Because I'm telling you, y'all, that God is not trying to bless you so you can hoard what he gives you. He's saying to you that when I bless you, I am putting you in a season so people can be blessed because of you. Some of you, the reason you're going to suffer a little bit more is because you are so stingy because of what God has given you. So you never want to pay anything forward. So God's not going to trust you with anything because he cannot trust you to bless others. Okay. And so he says to the four lepers who sat at the gate of Samaria, they wanted to take goods to hoard them. Okay, y'all got this man, and he's on there, and y'all saw that. He had about $17,000 or so worth of hand sanitizer. He was trying to hoard it so he could benefit out of it. What God is trying to tell some of y'all right now, I'm trying to bless you to be a blessing. So if you're a blessing, I'm going to bless you more. Can I trust you in this next season? Can I trust you in this next walk of your life? Can I trust you when this is over? Can I trust you to bless others? Can I trust you to be even a blessing to those that don't like you? Thank for whoever's sowing. Let me put it this way. Okay, Joseph, and I'm done for real, for real. This is my 18th closer, but somebody needs to hear this. Joseph was blessed by God. Let me put it this way. And Joseph had a dream, and his brothers put him in a pit, and his pit was in a wilderness. Here's the critical question of the day that some of you are dealing with, and I'm done for real, I gotta go. What happens when you are anointed by God and God puts you in a place that's unproductive? Don't shout too soon, but somebody should have ran. Because the problem that some of you are dealing with is that God has allowed some things to happen, and you know what God has told you to do. But God has placed you in a place that does not multiply. My cash app is Pastor D. Lewis. Thank you, my friend. She asked me for it. What happens when you know the gift and the dream and the destiny that God has placed in you, but God puts you into something that's not fruitful? Why y'all think coronavirus coming? So if I put them in a pit and I put them in a wilderness, I also put them in a famine. Oh, yes. Is it making sense to anybody? Why are you going through this? He says, I put you in it. It's now a famine, because now what starts to happen, so much is over you and consuming you that it not only messes with your mouth, it messes with your mind. Okay, because what happens with Joseph, Joseph never dreams again. Are y'all catching me? What are you saying, Pastor D? So God says you got to go through 13 years of hell in a famine, in a drought, before you get what I promised you. Some of you right now, you frustrated, but God says you're almost out of it. Oh, yeah, oh, God. You are one step closer to the palace. Don't you give up now. You are one step closer. Don't you give up now. You are closer than you think. Don't you dare give up now. You are, no, y'all hear me? You are closer. And so what happens? Watch me. Joseph goes before Pharaoh. Watch this. He changes his clothes, the word says, before he gets there. He shaves his face, changes his clothes. He did not pack his Samsonite luggage and go on a guilt trip. He goes before a king because he understands that I cannot approach deity and royalty like this, and I cannot look like. So what I need to do, before I go before him, I cannot look like what I've been in. Oh, God, come on. What is God trying to tell some of y'all? He's trying to tell some of you in this season of your life, clean up some of the stuff that you've been dealing with. Remove some of the baggage out of your life. Remove some of the encumbrance out of your life, because I'm getting ready to put you in a place like Joseph, where your gift is getting ready to make room for you and bring you before great men. Y'all ain't catch none of what I just said. Let me try it again. I'm putting you in a place where you are coming out of this, but you will not come out of this looking like what you've been through. And some of you right now, you ain't coming out of this still dealing with financial problems. You're not coming out of this still dealing with sickness. You're not coming out of this still dealing with that hell. You're not coming. No, no, no. When I bring you out of this one, you coming out looking like something new. This is what he said to Joseph, and I'm done prophetically. Y'all ready to catch it? Thank y'all for sowing. Whoever that is sowing, bless y'all. He says to Joseph, he said, boy, you got a gift. I'm really speaking this prophetically. I hope y'all really hear this. He says, boy, you got a gift. You got a gift. You interpreted all that? Yeah. Well, the job is yours. Joseph said, what job? I'm putting you second in command. I didn't put in a resume. You didn't have to. Your gift just opened the door. Y'all ain't hearing me. Y'all got to see that spiritual. Please tell me y'all caught it. He says, boy, I'm going to put you over the storehouse. Watch me. Joseph was in a famine. And he puts Joseph in a place where Joseph has to be over a storehouse and bless others to bring them out of famine. Y'all ain't catching me. What he's doing, he says, no, no, no. He says, the devil will put you in such a precarious, precocious position that when you go through things, you don't dream again. And God said, that's all right. You ain't got to dream about it, because as long as you dream about it one time, because when I bless you, you ain't got to dream again, but I'm going to bless you where you make other people's dreams come true. I'm done. Joseph is in a place where he makes other people's dreams come true. And some of you, the reason you can't give up right now is because God's getting ready to put you over a movement. Oh my God. God's getting ready to put you over something so big. Let me put it this way. It takes longer because it's coming bigger than you expected. And some of you are Joseph. You're going through this, but it won't be long now. And when he brings you out of this one, and he will, your story is going to be that I'm going to be even anointed enough to bless those that put me in it. Ooh-wee. Because Joseph looks at his family, he starts to tear up and he starts to cry. And he starts to get a little frustrated because he's looking at people that acted like they did nothing to him. Because it's amazing that God will anoint you to a place that when people see you again, they won't even recognize you because you will not look like what happened. Wow. The boys did not recognize him. His brothers did not recognize him because God put him in such a place that they would not be able to even touch him. They could even go around Joseph at this time unless he summoned for them because of the prominent position that God placed him in. And some of you right now, stop trying to fight your enemy. Let God do it. Stop trying to fight coronavirus. Let God be God and your enemies be shattered. Stop trying to fight the difficulty and let God be God. And it's my prayer that as you go through this, because my hour is up, that you see God in the midst of all these storms and understand that it's not what it looks like. And when God brings you out of this, you're going to have a new testimony because he's getting ready to make rivers in a desert. And when God gets you through this, and he will, the testimony is going to be so large, unfathomable for some of you, so massive for some of you, that you're not going to even be able to articulate what God did for you. I'm out of time, but I'm not out of word. If it's been a blessing, type ones across the screen just to type that, or type the word bless. And I love y'all. Thank y'all for sowing. Well, this is technically my midweek service. So if this word blessed you and you want to sow on tonight, some of you in a recession, you ain't got it. I get it. But some of you just saying you're going to, I'm going to pray for everybody that sows whatever amount you want to sow. Can y'all do me a favor? If you sow anything, and the minimum that if you can, do a $7 seed. All right. I love you. I'm on 3 social media places. If you're going to sow something with a 7 or sow that $7 seed, somebody type a 7. And I'm getting off here. Just type a 7. If you have it, you do. If you don't, God bless you. But if you want to sow more, sow more. If you want to sow more, sow more. If you don't, sow 7. If you don't have anything, I'm praying for you regardless. All right. Sow 7. And the Cash App is Pastor D. Louis. Next week, I'm going to do something on my lives. We're going to donate some money out to people that are hurting. So y'all stay with me. But so a 7. If God tells you 27, tells you 17, if you just do the 7, that's fine too. But type something with a 7 in it. Just type 7. And the Cash App, somebody write this in the comments so I can get off here. This is not a money grab because I know what's going on. But I want to still pray for you. It's Pastor, Pastor D as in David, Louis, Louis. Please, someone type it real quick. Pastor D as in David, Louis on YouTube. Pastor D Louis, or my website is www.pastord as in David, Louis.com. Thank you, Divinely Aligned, send me a message because of that. And so, again, it's Pastor D as in David, Louis, Louis, and then it's Pastor DLOUIS.com. I want y'all to stay with me because what's going to happen, if you're going to sow anything with a 7, just type a 7, whatever God puts you. If you ain't got it, God bless y'all. I know, I get it. But some of you may do. And then next week we're going to do something nice, and I'll stay with me, okay? We're going to feed some homeless, something. But so those 7, I'm going to tell y'all what we're going to be doing. So it's Pastor DLOUIS, and that's the Cash App. And the website is www.pastordlouis.com. I hope it's been a blessing to y'all tonight. And I really do. Would y'all do me a favor, all of you? Would you share one more time? And would you also, as well, after you share, would you follow me on YouTube? Would you follow me also on Facebook? And would you do me a favor? Can I get all 300 of you to follow me on Instagram tonight? My Instagram is the same as the Cash App. It's Pastor D as in David, Louis, Louis. Thank you, Tiffany, for writing that in there. I love y'all. I'm just doing the will of God. And that's all I can do. I'm an humble servant to God, and I'm just going to do what God tells me to do. And because of that, I just hope you were blessed by the word. If you are ever in the Dallas area, come see me at 6701 Southampton Road in Dallas, Texas. If you are a new follower on Instagram, send me a message, say hi to me. I will say hi back. Don't send me a book, say hi. I will say hi back. All right. I love y'all. Again, somebody asked last time. The Cash App is Pastor, PASTORDLOUIS on the Cash App. And the Will I Be There Resurrection Sunday? Pray that I'll be there Resurrection Sunday. The website can be, you can send it on the website, my friend, www.pastordlouis.com. They have PayPal and everything on my website as well. Or it's paypal.me/DDL Ministries. Pray that we are open on Resurrection Sunday. I pray that we are. My anniversary was supposed to be April 5th, and I may have to change that, and it's okay. It's okay. It is what it is. So it's all about protecting our people, and I'm going to do everything I can to do that. So I love y'all. Y'all have a wonderful night. Go follow me on Instagram. Send those seeds. I'm going to pray at 11 o'clock to 12:01 tonight. And again, this is technically my midweek service, so that's the gift and offerings and all that stuff for our services, because we are shut down virtually. But thank God I have a social media family that still believes in our ministry and that are still sowing. I love y'all Facebook. I love y'all Periscope. I love y'all YouTube. I'm out of time. Not out of word. Y'all be blessed. If you send your seeds tonight, send me prayer requests with them. I'm going to pray for every one of them. If it's $7, if it's 5, if it's 20, if it's 2,000, if you balling out of control. Now all my members on here, y'all send $7 seed too, so we can keep the ministry going. Don't play. They up here acting like they don't hear me. I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. Y'all be blessed in God. I'll talk to y'all. Bye. You too. Love y'all.